Well, for the past couple of weeks, the Campbelltown Menangle area have been put on high alert concerning cane toads. Of course, that very rascally pest, the cane toad, usually seen around about June when the state of origin is on. There's also been sightings of Corey Parker here at Club Menangle today, so I thought I'd catch up with the Corey Parker, but our version of that particular name. Well, Corey, have you ever been mixed up with the Queensland version of Corey Parker?
No, not really. I've been mixed up with him over the phone calls, and every time I go somewhere and people see my name, they go, Corey Parker, is that the Corey Parker? I'm like, nah, sorry mate, it's not. But yeah, no, so I wish I was him sometimes.
But you did play football in the Canberra region?
I did, yeah, just not at any elite level, just local footy, which was good. Played for a lot of years, but yeah, probably wasn't quite good enough to get to the big time like him.
What particular club were you with, Corey?
Queanbeyan Blues. Played for a few clubs in Canberra, Gungahlin Bulls, but mostly Queanbeyan Blues. Yes, Magpies. Yeah.
And no doubt you still love your Canberra Raiders?
Yeah, big fan of the Raiders. They're good at the moment, so I'm a big fan. Yep.
Can they go all the way and take out the GF?
I think they can this year. Yeah, they've got a good team and got the experience now, so definitely.
Well, let's have a chat about the Corey Parker from Murrin Bateman, and certainly a beautiful part of the world.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, a lot of wineries and that down there, and yeah, it's a real nice. It gets a bit cold in the winter, but it's good most of the time.
Seems to be the theme. I was interviewing Frank O'Sullivan, also a very proud Raiders supporter. He was also spruiking the outstanding wines.
Yeah, no, so I'm not a massive wine fan, but my wife loves it, so it's a good area for us to live because she loves it.
It was formerly renowned for its gold mining, that particular region, and then into the wineries, and I believe there's about 20-odd boutique wine settlements.
Yeah, there is. There's heaps. Every weekend you'll see the buses driving around and people everywhere going from winery to winery doing their thing, having a drink.
Must be that perfect weather that you experience down there.
And in the summertime it's good. Summer and spring and autumn, but winter it gets very cold.
Well, Corey, how did your harness racing career kick off?
Kicked off, probably started with mini trotters, and then my uncle had trotters, and that's sort of where I got into it. And Dad had thoroughbreds. When I was a long time ago, when I was real young, I used to ride his thoroughbreds track work, and sort of grew too big for that, and started looking down the trotters and never looked back really.
Yeah, you were just telling me prior to the interview, Corey, you played in the front row. When you said you were riding track work, I thought, geez, they must have been pretty big horses.
No, I was only about 12 years old, so I was a lot smaller than I am now.
Now, Corey, you enjoyed success in harness racing, but then you decided to take a spell.
Yeah, we just we ended up with a fair few horses there. Like me and Dad both have our own businesses, and we were up around 10 or 11, and I think it just burned us out a bit, and we just needed a break. So yeah, we've had about 4 years off, been back about 2 now, and just having a good run. It's not winning every week, but just being competitive. It's good.
Just that passion and love of harness racing just drew you back in.
It did. I thought, I was saying to a couple of guys I work with, you know, I'm done. I've got no interest to come back, and then all of a sudden it just crept back into my life, and now it's got me again. I'm hooked.
Corey, you better give the business a mention.
Yeah, Parker's Painting. So we just I got 4 to 5 guys usually work for me, and we just paint houses all around Canberra, Murrin Bateman and Yass, and stuff like that.
Just a nice mix of training the horses and then the business. The horses giving you that exposure away from the pressure of business.
Yeah, so I'm not around the business as much as I probably should be because I'm always doing horses. I'm just lucky I got my business to where it is at the moment, where I can do that, and I got blokes working that can carry the fort while I'm not there.
Corey, you enjoyed success here a few seasons back with Pulverizer.
Yeah, so Pulverizer won down here a few years ago now with he won here. That was my first winner here, and Nifty Rocket Man's won here, and Dad had a good horse called It Ain't Over that won a Group 1 here, a 3-year-old race. So yeah.
Corey, you've always enjoyed a wonderful relationship with the Day family, commencing with Neil.
Yeah, so Neil trained, he drove that horse Pulverizer I was talking about, and he trained It Ain't Over. And with a lot of our young horses early on, we used to send them to Neil to get them up and running because he's a brilliant horseman, knows what he's doing. And then we'd get them back once he had them up and going. And he used to drive a lot for us as well, and he doesn't drive as much anymore, but that's fine because we love using Amy because she's pretty good.
Yeah, as the saying goes, you're lucky you're with Amy, and Amy's been very good to your stable and you've been very good to Amy. There was one particular drive in Kenneth Lloyd. She parted company with him and suffered a very bad injury, and I think to this day she still hasn't watched a replay of that fall.
Yeah, it was a bad one. it's just that she's so bloody small, and she hit the peg and it flipped her out, and I was really worried for her that day. Actually, it was a very nasty fall.
And you haven't been driving yourself these days?
No, I haven't driven for a long time, mainly because of you got to do it regularly and size. I'm way too big to be driving them in races, so yeah, that's the main reason.
A bit like the rugby league, Corey, the body change has been taking place over the past 10 or so years. And like the harness racing drivers now, the girls are very petite, the young men now are a lot thinner than the previous occasions, a lot smaller. So it's all about that body shape.
Oh, absolutely. You go to the trots now and they're all like jockeys. All the drivers that jump on, there's not much of them. So I think that's sort of how it has to be. I've always sort of thought that. I just drove for fun for a while, and then the amount of work you put in, I think you're better off putting someone on that drives all the time.
And Corey, one thing about our drives of today, they are very exciting, very young, very talented. So harness racing is in very good hands.
Oh, absolutely. There's heaps of good drivers out there. It's just they jump on, and a lot of horses seem to run, especially for the little guys and the little girls. They get along.
Well, Corey, it's been great to catch up with you at Club Menangle. You're not the Corey Parker from Queensland associated with those cane toads, which is a good thing.
No, definitely not.